friends, and welcome back to another installment of Academically Dope. This week I want to talk to you about mental health. We are in Mental Health Awareness Week, and I really think it's important to talk about mental health, especially as graduate students. When I was doing research for this talk, I came across some staggering statistics that really bothered me that I really didn't take into consideration until I sat down to talk to you about mental health. And the first one is that graduate students are 6 times more likely to struggle with anxiety and depression over the general population. 6 times more likely. And the second thing is that gender non-conforming individuals as well as women are significantly more likely to struggle with anxiety. In fact, the non-conforming gender individuals are 55% more to struggle, and the women are 57% more to struggle. And the reason why that didn't sit very well with me is, one, I'm shocked, but two, I too struggled with mental health issues in graduate school, and I had never struggled with them before. In other videos or in other places, I've shared that, I was prescribed anxiety and depression medicine as a graduate student, and it shocked me, it rocked my world, because I had never struggled with anxiety or depression. And I didn't think I really did. I just thought that, I was under a lot of stress. Of course, graduate school is hard. I was just like, yeah, no, this is normal. I just can't go to sleep. In fact, when I went to the doctor's office, I had pushed myself to the edge, so much so that when I went to sleep, I could not stop thinking. I was always conscious of my thoughts, and that is when you get into dangerous territory. I kept pushing. No matter what my body had told me, I kept doing it because I wanted to be good or good enough, right? And so I developed an unhealthy relationship with school as a result, and was subscribed anxiety and depression medicine. Now, I didn't have to take the depression medication because I really didn't struggle with depression, but I did have to take the anxiety medication. And this is no shade. I'm not condemning anybody. If you feel that you need an antidepressant, or if you feel that you need anxiety medication, I really encourage you to go get help sooner than later. I just didn't need it, but I know a lot of people who did, and they really needed it, and they started to need it as a result of being in school. Now, I'm not trying to scare you away from being in graduate school, but these are realities. We are under extreme amounts of pressure. We're underpaid, underprivileged. There's never enough time. The work keeps going. There are a lot of factors that play into that, and so I want to encourage you to take care of yourself while you're going through graduate school, okay? And so that's where I have 5 things to share with you about mental health and how to kind of put these structures in place to ensure that you are the best you that you can be. One of the worst things to do is try to keep putting out and keep producing without taking into consideration the wear and tear it is that's happening on your body as well as your mind. And so I'm going to share with you 5 things that I did after I was prescribed medication to kind of help me understand that there is a problem as well as you need to come up with a solution. So the first thing I do, which is probably the underlying thing in all of my videos, is pray. I had to develop a spiritual life. Now, I'm not saying that you got to pray every day. I encourage you to. But I'm saying that you need to develop a spiritual life with God where you get up for an hour or 30 minutes to just spend that time with Him and to get the downloads or the strategies for the day. When I didn't have a plan or I didn't have a spiritual plan, I failed miserably. In fact, I think that's probably one of the biggest issues that happened to me, honestly, is that I did not take my personal time with God. And when I put that structure in place, that meant that I didn't talk to people the first hour that I got up. And I still have that structure in place now. People know if I get up at 4 a.m., I'm not talking to nobody till 5. Because I need time for me. As a student, you don't have time for you a lot, so you have to have that. That means that you might have to get up an hour earlier. Check out another video I did on the topic, but that's not it. What I'm saying is that you need to develop a spiritual plan. All right? The second thing that I did was I started to work out. Now I know, we up late, we're snacking, we're lacking, we're eating pizza, whatever the case may be, and we just put on pounds. They mysteriously come on. But you need some type of way to relieve that stress, and you also need to take your physical health into consideration. And so I encourage people to work out. When I first started working out, it was maybe 3 times a week. Now I'm up to 6 times a week. I probably have to push myself harder because my body is like not doing what it needs to do. But I still do work out because that's something that I do for me. You need to understand that your physical health is just as important to your mental health, right? They both work in tandem with one another. So you just need to start where you are. If you can't afford a gym membership because you're a graduate student, cool. YouTube has a lot of free memberships, a lot of free videos that you can look at and do it in your home. I'm going to do a home workout today. So don't use a lot of the excuses like, oh, I don't feel like going to it. It's just take a choice and just try with 30 minutes a day, okay? The third thing, I encourage rest. Probably almost as up there as I encourage time with God. I believe in naps. Anybody who knows me personally knows I have to have a nap almost every day. If I don't have a nap, I'm kind of cranky, or I'm not operating at my highest capacity. You need a nap, or you need to go to bed earlier. You need sleep. That's what I'm saying. When you go to sleep, your mind has your brain cells has the ability to reprogram or to reflourish themselves. You need to rest your brain. I take naps. When I was in grad school, I took naps. I did. Or I went to bed earlier. You need to understand that you cannot be sleep deprived and be mentally healthy. You cannot. You cannot. A lot of things happen when you're not rested, okay? So I want to encourage you to go to bed more, get more sleep. The work is going to always be there, all right? It's not going anywhere. The fourth thing is to get massages. Now, this is something I started during my dissertation phase. And there are a lot of places that you can go that they have students, or they're training their students how to be massage therapists. And so sometimes you get like the student rate discount or whatever. Inquire about it. I was going once every few months, but now as a faculty member and my my responsibilities are higher, I just signed up for a membership at Massage Envy to go every month. I can afford that now. I'm not saying you can, but at some point, every few months, you need to invest in a massage. It really helps you to relieve the stress that you may have bound in your body. And the fifth thing that you may have to do is find a healthy work and life balance. This is something that I'm still learning to do, so I'm not, just preaching at you. I'm preaching to myself as well. You need a healthy balance. You can't always be work and not have any release or reprieve for yourself. That means one day you may, go to a coffee shop and just look out the window. Or you may listen to some music for a little while. Or you may go out with some friends. Whatever the case may be, you need to have a healthy balance. Because if you don't start rewarding yourself for the accomplishments that you made, you're pushing yourself more into the ground. You're devaluing what you've accomplished. And so if you start to put structures in place right now, before the tension and the stress starts to happen, because majority of us are in the middle of the semester, you would be more adept to handle the stress of the semester, okay? So I encourage you, take your mental health seriously. You are a limited resource. Hear me. You are important. And your health is important not only to you, but to everyone around you. If you're unhealthy, other people connected with you will be unhealthy, okay? So I want to encourage you to take your mental health seriously. Put some structures in place, balance, and understand that you are worthy enough to take a break. I hope that helps you. Tune in next Monday for another episode of Academically Dope. And check us out on Fridays where I answer questions from graduate students. So I'll talk to you soon. Mental health is important. Take yours seriously.